Three selections by G.K. Chesterton, 1874 to 1936. Selection 1. The Secret People. Smile at us, pay us, pass us, but do not quite forget. For we are the people of England that never has spoken yet. There is many a fat farmer that drinks less cheerfully. There is many a free French peasant who is richer and sadder than we. There are no folk in the whole world so helpless or so wise. There is hunger in our bellies, there is laughter in our eyes. You laugh at us and love us, both mugs and eyes are wet. Only you do not know us, for we have not spoken yet. The fine French kings came over in a flutter of flags and dames. We liked their smiles and battles, but we never could say their names. The blood ran red to Bosworth, and the high French lords went down. There was naught but a naked people under a naked crown. And the eyes of the king's servants turned terribly every way, and the gold of the king's servants rose higher every day. They burnt the homes of the shaven men that had been quaint and kind, till there was no bed in a monk's house, nor food that man could find. The inns of God were no men paid, that were the wall of the weak. The king's servants ate them all, and still we did not speak. And the face of the king's servants grew greater than the king. He tricked them, and they trapped him, and stood round him in a ring. The new grave lords closed round him, and had eaten the abbey's fruits, and the men of the new religion with their Bibles in their boots. We saw their shoulders moving to menace or discuss, and some were pure and some were vile, but none took heed of us. We saw the king as they killed him, and his face was proud and pale, and a few men talked of freedom, while England talked of ale. A war that we understood not came over the world and woke. Americans, Frenchmen, Irish, but we knew not the things they spoke. They talked about rights and nature and peace, and the people's reign. And the squires, our masters, bade us fight, and never scorned us again. Weak if we be forever, could none condemn us then. Men called us serfs and drudges, men knew that we were men. In foam and flame at Trafalgar, on Albura plains, we did and died like lions, to keep ourselves in chains. We lay in living ruins, firing and fearing not the strange fierce face of the Frenchmen who knew for what they fought. And the man who seemed to be more than man we strained against and broke, and we broke our own rights with him, and still we never spoke. Our path of glory ended, we never heard guns again, but the squire seemed struck in the saddle, he was foolish as if in pain. He leaned on a staggering lawyer, he clutched a cringing Jew. He was stricken, it may be, after all, he was stricken at Waterloo. Or perhaps the shades of the shaven men, whose spoil is in his house, come back in shining shapes at last, to spoil his last carouse. We only know the last sad squires ride slowly towards the sea, and a new people takes the land, and still it is not we. They have given us into the hands of a newly unhappy lords, lords without anger and honor, who dare not carry their swords. They fight by shuffling papers. They have bright, dead alien eyes. They look at our labor and laughter as a tired man looks at flies. And the load of their loveliness and the load of their loveless pity is worse than the ancient wrongs. Their doors are shut in the evening, and they know no songs. We hear men speaking for us of new laws strong and sweet, yet is there no man speaketh as we speak in the street. It may be we shall rise the last as Frenchmen rose the first. Our wrath come after Russia's wrath, and our wrath be the worst. It may be we are meant to mark, with our riot and our rest, God's scorn for all men governing. It may be beer is best. But we are the people of England, and we have not spoken yet. Smile at us, pay us, pass us, but do not quite forget. Second selection, The Rolling English Road. Before the Roman came to Rye, or out to Severn strode, the rolling English drunkard made the rolling English road. A reeling road, a rolling road that rambles round the shire. And after him the parson ran, the sexton and the squire. A merry road, a mazy road, and such as we did tread, the night we went to Birmingham by way of Beachy Head. I knew no harm of Bonaparte, and plenty of the squire, and for to fight the Frenchmen I did not much desire. But I did bash their bagonets because they came arrayed to straighten them out the crooked road on English drunkard made. Where you and I went down the lane with ale mugs in our hands, the night we went to Glastonbury by way of Goodwin Sands. His sins they were forgiven him, or why do flowers run behind him, and the hedges all strengthening in the sun. The wild thing went from left to right, and knew not which was which, but the wild rose was above him when they found him in the ditch. God pardon us, nor harden us, we did not see so clear, the night we went to Bannockburn by way of Brighton Pier. My friends, we will not go again, or ape an ancient rage, or stretch the folly of our youth to be the shame of age, but walk with clearer eyes and ears this path what that wandereth, and see undrugged in evening light the descent in of death. For there is good news yet to hear, and fine things to be seen, before we go to paradise by way of Kensal Green. Third selection, Gold Leaves. Lo, I am come to autumn, when all the leaves are gold. Gray hairs and golden leaves cry out, the year and I are old. In youth I sought the Prince of Men, captain in cosmic wars. Our Titan even the weeds would show, defiant to the stars. But now a great thing in the street seems any human nod, where shift in strange democracy the million masks of God. In youth I sought the golden flower, hidden in wood or wold, but I am come to autumn, when all the leaves are gold.